Good morning, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 13623 Northeast Siskiyou Court here in Portland, Oregon. We're located at the rear of the home. There is a 4-inch cast iron cleanout. We're just off to the left of this rear entrance here. This will be the point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We currently have water running, and I will zero out the camera here for an accurate length of the pipe and refer to this spot as the point of access. Here we go. Here at 6 feet from the point of access, it transitions here from 4-inch cast iron. It looks like it's going over to 4-inch PVC possibly. It's difficult to tell because this joint here does appear to be offset. We'll take a look at it on the way back. It could be 6-inch, but it's tough to see the pipe match up. Okay, so we just went through a section of pipe there with quite a lot of standing water in it. We'll take a closer look when it's drained out at the end here. But there is a significant amount of standing water as well as debris. And there's another section of pipe here. It's also lost slope and grade, or referred to as a belly. It looks like we've got 2 different sections so far with significant standing water in it. Standing water becomes concerning when it reaches about the 2-inch mark, 3 inches. There's just a lot of resistance. It's like hitting the bottom of a water slide. When you hit the pool at the bottom, you come to a stop. And it's the same thing that happens to the debris coming down the line. It hits all this standing water and loses all of its velocity and hangs up. Here at 93 feet out, transitions here once more from 4-inch PVC pipe. Looks like over to 6-inch concrete. It might be larger diameter. This looks like a pretty big pipe it's dropping into here. I'm looking over here on the right side of the screen, right at a joint here. My camera has a terrible angle on it because it's round in a corner here. It looks like there might be possibly a root intrusion coming through the joint there. I'll try and take another look at it on the way out. Got a really tough angle on that. Okay, and here at 110 feet from the point of access, we have reached the terminus for the line. I will do locates to find out where it goes. At this point, because of the length, it does look like it goes around the house out to the street, but I will verify that. I'm also going to get the water turned off, let it drain out completely, so we have an accurate assessment of how much standing water is in the line. I'm going to go ahead and start reeling the camera back here while the line continues to drain out. I'm going to go reel back to the end of the furthest out belly in the line. Like I said, I believe that there are 2 stretches of pipe that have a significant amount of standing water. And the standing water becomes even more concerning when a line is 110 feet long. If you had a belly in like a 30, 40, 50 foot long line, the debris coming through the pipe has a much better chance of making it out to the main lateral just because of the difference in distance it has to travel. And it looks like the standing water there's still some draining out here, but it appears to lead all the way up to the transition here for the most part. Okay, so we are here at the end of the furthest out belly. There is some standing water at the very end of the PVC, right before it transitions, but it's a relatively short section of pipe there with standing water in it. And this belly leads all the way up to this 45-degree turn here. I'm going to kind of pause the camera, move back and forth here, and kind of get an assessment of the belly, and I'll do some locates, find out where this is at and everything. Okay, so we're here at 70, that's about 74 feet here where this belly dissipates at. I'm going to go do locates, find out where it's at, and I'll do a marking here. I'll mark it with a white X, and we'll call it 75 feet here. I did locate and did a marking here, a white X. The line comes out the rear of the house. If you're what I'm telling you is kind of oriented if you're staring at the front of the house from the street. So the line comes out the rear, hangs a left, goes across the back side of the house, comes up the left side of the home, and goes out to the street on northeast Siskiyou. More than likely, at some point, this line probably was hooked up to septic, and then they converted it over to city sewer, which is why it goes around the back. And when a line has to go around the back like this, rather than straight out the front, like average homes do, you've obviously doubled or tripled the length that it really should be. And that's why you can run into a lot of trouble grading a line like this so that it has proper slope and grade all the way to the main. That main lateral is at a set depth, and you only have so much room to grade a line like this. So I did our marking here at about 55 feet. I am going to recommend a repair to correct the slope and grade of all the standing water in the line. I mentioned earlier, when it's 110 feet, you need as much sloping grade as you can possibly get, so everything makes it out to the main lateral. If a repair is not done, lines like this can be dealt with by routine drain cleaning, specifically hydrojetting, to blow all the debris out, and that will keep any debris buildup to a minimum and significantly reduce the potential for a blockage to occur. And with this much standing water in the line, a blockage and backup it's quite likely in a line like this, so that's why I'm recommending the repair. But if a repair is not done, obviously because of the length of this line, it will be costly. At 75 feet, it was 7 feet deep, so it's a fairly deep line. The other option that's worth looking into by talking to the repair companies is to see if it may be cheaper to actually bore a new line in from the front and try and reverse the plumbing and go out the front. Sometimes that can cost significantly less, sometimes it can cost about the same. It depends on how much work is needed to reverse the plumbing. I'm going to do another marking here. I've got, again, an X at the end of the belly. There is some standing water beyond 75 feet, specifically about the last 2-3 feet of the line, but it's a fairly short belly, and it's unlikely that that small section there is going to cause any problems, which is why I'm not mapping that part of it out. It will significantly increase the cost to do that, because that section is about 20 feet away from the end of the belly at 75 feet, which means you'd have to dig another hole there specifically for that spot, which you wouldn't probably get a whole lot of cost benefit out of it. So I'm going to go do another marking here. Yeah, I was able to pick up the camera head nice and strong here, at least the signal for the locates, but the depths are bouncing all over the place. I don't know if there's underground power running through here, but again, the locate came in nice and clear, but the depth was bouncing between about 3.5 feet all the way up to about 9 feet. So I'm going to do another set of locates here just to hopefully get a better depth. I'll try and relocate right here at 51 feet. Alright, so I pulled back here just a few feet away from 55 feet. I'm getting a depth of right around 5 feet deep here. It was coming in a bit clearer. I'm going to keep on reeling back here. Do markings about every 15-20 feet. We're going to turn here, now we're coming across the back of the house now. And I'm going to push back out here in just a moment. I wanted to find all the standing water here before I... Okay, so it looks like there is a pretty distinct separation between the two bellies. Sometimes if they're close enough, you don't really need to worry about doing two different repairs, just do it all together. This kind of standing water here, where you've only got like a, 1/8 of an inch, this is not that's no big deal at all. Okay, the significant part of this furthest out belly. I don't know if there's hot water going through the pipe. My camera's all fogged up here. I apologize for that. Okay, so this belly here starts at, we'll call it 50 feet here. It's just a couple inches shy of that. So I'll do an X marking here, just indicating that this is there will be X's at the beginning and end of the belly, so that indicates just where the repair starts and stops at. I'll do another marking right here. This is the beginning of the second belly in the line. And so I'm getting a depth right here of about 5 feet, but there's got to be underground power or something, because the locator is bouncing around all the way to like 12 feet. So in this situation, I highly recommend relocating the line to double check depths. It looks like someone else has been out here to scope this thing out, and there's a lot of writing on the ground. I think they were having a similar problem. My locator has brand new batteries in it, so it looks like there may be some underground power here that's affecting the signals. So you should treat these markings as rough markings for sure. Apologize for that. There's nothing I can do about it. If there's underground power, it's going to throw the signal off a bit. But as far as the locate goes, that part's coming in nice and clear. It's the depth that concerns me. And we're now back here at this is the end of the first belly in the line. Almost looks like something's trying to protrude up through the pipe here. Right at this spot, you can see. I don't know why the camera lens is so fogged up, but there is something kind of poking up through here. So I'll start the markings right here at 31 feet and work my way back from here. And again, this belly will be mapped out with X's at both ends of the repair. Okay, right here we're just a couple feet away from the rear left corner of the house, and again, I'm reference that from as if you're looking at the front of the home from the street. I did a marking, a white X marking here, and we're 3 feet 6 inches deep. You can see, especially as you get closer back, this is often how bellies go. The first part of the line here, closest to the house, will usually have the most debris buildup. You can see there's a lot of it in there. I'm going to reel back here till I find the beginning of the belly and then work from there forward. This first belly here is more significant than the second one, and that is due to just purely the depth. You can see when I pull back the camera to right about here. In fact, I'm going to pull the camera out real quick and try and clean the lens off so I can show that to you a little clearer. Okay, so we're back here at the beginning of the belly, and when I pull back to right here, you can see how much standing water there actually is. This is a 4-inch pipe, at least a 4-inch pipe. That should be what it is, and the line here is almost completely full. So we're looking at about 3 inches of standing water here, which is very significant. It's almost completely full, and it may actually become completely full a little bit further down, but the camera's underwater at that point. And then there's also the concern about this joint here. This joint looks like it has become offset by quite a bit. It's possible it was installed that way, but the joint up at the top of the screen there, it's kind of tough to see because it's dark and shadowed, but it does look like it might be partially open to the ground there. So for that reason, I'm going to start my repair markings right here. I'll mark this with a white T to indicate the transition, and then I'll work my way forward from here. Okay, we're 3 feet deep here, marked with a white T. And I'm going to push out here to about the halfway point of the belly at 15 feet here. And seeing that there's that much standing water here on the line, I highly recommend getting a repair done. When a pipe is totally full of water like that, the potential for a blockage or backup to occur is very high. It's basically hitting a wall of water and there's no space for anything to get through there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and reel the camera all the way back. Kind of as an overview, I recommend spot repairs to correct the two bellies. This first belly here actually starts a little bit beyond 6 feet, but the transition joint looks offset and looks like it's in pretty bad shape. I think it's actually open to the ground there, but there's no reason to not start there. It's only about a foot behind the belly. So from 6 feet out to 31 feet, the first belly spans the rear of the house, and then after the line rounds the corner, another belly starts again at 50 feet and extends all the way to 75 feet. And again, there was some standing water at the very end of the PVC section of the line, but it's pretty minimal. There was only, I think, about a ½ inch to 1 inch of water there for about 2 feet. So these two bellies here at the beginning and this joint are my major concerns with the line. I would recommend looking into boring a sewer line in from the front to see if that may be more cost effective. In some circumstances it can be. And if no repair is done, I absolutely recommend doing hydrojetting on a routine basis. Probably about it's worth talking to a drain cleaning company about a maintenance schedule, but about every year, possibly every 6 months, but at least every year do hydrojetting to keep all the debris build up to a minimum, or as minimum as you can get it. Even with jetters going through there, the bellies can cause enough resistance, especially when you've got 3 to 4 inches of standing water. Even a jetter can have a hard time pushing all the debris out of the line. So this is definitely a set of issues here that's worth repairing rather than maintaining with drain cleaning.